welcome our virtual water cooler friends to the 39th episode of Into the Filmverse. What is Into the Filmverse, you ask? Well, that is a great question. It's a movie fan podcast covering all types of film content, including movie trailers, new releases, and sometimes a variety of past releases. I'm Mytchel Chandler.
And I'm Bryce Payne.
And today we are discussing a bunch of new trailers that came out. Escape Room 2, Space Jam 2, Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins, Pig, and Old. Unless we talked about Escape Room 2 last week. I can't remember. Wasn't sure if we did or not.
I don't remember either.
So we'll talk about it this week anyways.
I feel like we did talk about it.
I feel like we did, but
I feel like we did because I feel like I distinctly remember saying that it was a letdown.
Yeah, I remember. I feel like I remember talking about it, but I didn't see. But whatever. Well, I'll just touch on it briefly, just in case we talked about it last week. And hey, we talk about a lot of movies on the podcast, and if you want to hear our reviews for the films we don't talk about, or even some that we do, then join us on Letterboxd, the social platform for movie reviews. You can find me, Mytchel Chandler, at Mytch Reviews, and that's MYTCH.
You can find me, Bryce Payne, at Payne Reviews, Payne Reviews.
And before we dive into our weekly movie watches, we're going to discuss some of the latest trailers that have come out over the past few weeks. First, the one I want to talk about, and this film jumped from one of my meh movies to I need to see this now. Dune. They came out with the second trailer for Dune, and oh my god.
Dude, that cast is insane. That's they got A-listers on there.
Any
one of those people could hold a whole movie down.
Seriously. And then when Josh Brolin does that one line, I don't know remember what he says. He sounds so much like Thanos.
He's like, I am smiling.
Oh yeah, that was that one, exactly.
This puts a smile on my face.
But just the scope of that film, I was like, this is the most sci-fi cinematic thing I've seen in a long time.
And I'm
Star
there.
Wars.
I'm sold, man. The minute he's like, I could be having dreams about this girl, and it shows a clip of Zendaya, I was like, I'm fucking sold.
I haven't felt this since The Force Awakens. I'm sure I know a lot of people didn't necessarily have that same feeling, but just that feeling of grandeur and depth and characters and where The Force Awakens that brought that deep sci-fi mythology with the cool characters and the cool set designs and the high epic fantasy. After Force Awakens, the rest of the Star Wars films kind of fell off of it for me.
I liked Rogue One.
Yeah, but
as a one-time watch,
not something that's I just feel like I get wrapped up in, and the Star Wars is its own separate thing. We can talk about individual films, but just that grandeur sense of high epic fantasy. That something you get something out of the Lord of the Rings. I feel like the superhero films, Marvel films, they kind of deliver on a different note than necessarily this. This is something I don't know, my brain just starts buzzing. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, man, this trailer was insane. I was sitting there, I was like, this looks whack as fuck.
Crazy because this could be so you could get lost, kind of not even Star Trek, in Star Trek where you get lost, or where you have such an expansive mythology, you could easily get lost in the minutia of everything, but they don't. That's what I'm saying. The good thing that Star Trek does, maybe especially the Next Generation, back when you watch those, used to watch those as a kid, and that was cool.
Yeah, no, I'm hyped. This movie looks so cool.
I was like, I won't watch any more trailers from here on out because I don't want to know anything else. One of the reasons, so I thought about watching the original Dune, and the reason I don't want to is because I really don't want to have any idea what the story is. I want to go in just not knowing what it's about. I'm
watching the original Dune because Arrow Video is releasing it on 4K in a collector set.
See, I'll definitely.
So I was like, I ordered it, and you guys aren't gonna be able to see this. I'm gonna look at my order because it's pretty cool. But
yeah, I definitely want to go in with just fresh pair of eyes, having no idea what's going on.
The only thing I knew about it before any of the trailers or anything was just the giant sandworms.
I like the giant sandworm. That was cool.
That's it. That's all I had.
I hope they're friendlies. Wouldn't that be cool? If the giant sandworms are friendly.
I feel like they're not gonna be. I
know, but I think that'd be so cool. Because usually they are evil. What if they're oh, we're trying to protect our planet too. We'll help you.
King Kong.
So that'd be super cool, and yeah, just the action and the everything in it just looks super awesome.
This is you guys aren't gonna be able to see, but this is what my order with Dune comes with.
Oh wow,
it's a collector set.
That looks really cool.
I'm very hyped. It's just has character posters, a little poster, and a cardboard box. Arrow Video's box sets, mint.
As much as like you know how I would say that like, I'm not a physical media person anymore. Like collector sets like that are cool.
It's like it's one of the things where I was like, they have the normal Dune 4K, and like it's like I think like $20 or something like that. But then they had the box with all the. I was like, I'm paying an extra $20 for that.
It was only 40.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I was like, shit. Criterion ain't got shit on Arrow Videos like box sets, and I'm like, I love Criterion, but like this is packed. Like, and I think it comes out the same month that the new Dune does.
Oh wow.
So like,
you watch.
I'm definitely gonna watch it before I watch the new Dune.
It'll be a Dune month for you. Another cool movie that like we haven't seen since like what is it 1980 something.
1984.
That's when the first Dune came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a franchise that we have seen something else before that, but it hasn't been that great. But we're going back to basics. Ghostbusters trailer, the second trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife.
To be completely transparent here, I've only ever seen the first Ghostbusters.
I know I've seen the other ones. It's just been a long time. So,
I played the Ghostbusters video game.
The newer one that came out.
It's not new. That was a remaster.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I played that. Other than that, I've never sat down and been like, I'm gonna watch Ghostbusters 2 because like the first one's like so iconic and classic.
The second one's really good too. At least I do. I like it.
I have no bearing on that.
Sure. No, but what do you think? I mean, see if they're bearing in the second one. But what do you think about the new?
Trailer? Lord, dude, I don't even know what to think because all I want to be is like they're at least they're going back to basics, man. They're not being like, hey, we're gonna try something new with the Ghostbusters IP. They're straight up like, yeah, 40 years later.
You know, this is what I like about this, and it seems like a lot of franchises are starting to go in this direction, like with what Halloween did. Like they're taking the existing IP, paying very much homage to it, but giving it a fresh spin on it, and it's working.
And yeah, it's working, which is surprising a lot of people, and I think a lot of studios are going, hold on, what do we have? Oh, we could do this one.
I don't think, and you know, the last Ghostbusters that we had with all the female Ghostbusters, I don't think the idea was bad in concept, and I don't think it was actually that bad of a film as much as other people do. I just think that it took away the spirit of what the Ghostbusters
Yeah, because I feel like they pushed. I haven't seen the movie, so like take this with a grain of salt. But I feel like they just wanted to make like a feministic movie with the Ghostbusters IP, kind of like what if, you know, like Marvel's what if, you know, like, what if the Ghostbusters were female?
I mean, I could definitely see why that would be a concern in some people's eyes. I just think,
outside perspective from what I know of the movie.
Sure, no, I mean, a lot of people definitely say that, which is understandable. Where like just looking at it at face value, which I don't think necessarily just changing all the actors to female is a bad thing. Like that has nothing to do
of course not.
On what the film is.
Anything can be good. Doesn't matter.
My issue with it is that they treated the Ghostbusters franchise more as a spoof, or like a Saturday Night Live skit, because a lot of those actors were from Saturday Night Live previously, and that they're comedians, and it just came off as more like spoofy than it did an actual Ghostbusters
kind of cheesy kind of thing.
So like I never bothered me that they changed it to females, and like, but my issue with it is that they just kind of like didn't pay homage to the original Ghostbusters.
And this trailer definitely does. Like you see a lot of iconic
this is
shit.
Ghostbusters through and through.
You got Slimer going through the streets, the Ecto-1, you got the Ghost Radar thing, the Ghost Detector, you got the Ghost Trap, you got the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Man, it's
not even just the ghosts; it's the way that they approach the ghosts too. Because like in the other one, it's like they're treating like the ghosts were like, oh, ha, 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 funny. This one, they're like, oh no, what is this thing? Like, what is going on? Like,
I loved seeing the people on YouTube watching the Ghostbuster trailer or like the commercials they had in the 80s.
Oh yeah,
I was like, that's your grandpa, and you don't know that?
That's a very good point.
I was like, you telling me your mom was like, she just never do like your grandpa was just like, shut the fuck up. No one needs to know that I saved the world twice.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see where where the rest of their Ghostbusters been this whole time. But
dude, I love Bill Murray. Do you know that you can't get in contact with Bill Murray? It's like impossible. You have to go through a 1-800 number.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably for a lot of film stars, and you can't really.
A guy was trying to get in touch with Bill Murray for a movie, and I asked Bill Murray's agent, and his agent was like, "Dude, I have to go through the 1-800 number too."
No
like,
so
cool. I think Bill Murray just like once a week or something checks his like answering machine. He's like, "Nah, movie sounds like trash."
That's the ultimate power move. Is you have to call a 1-800 number to call an actual person.
And I think he just like listens to it and he's like, "Yeah, I'll do that one." And then Wes Anderson just has him on speed dial. He's just like, "Yo, Bill, you want to be in the movie?" Bill Murray's like, "Shit, yeah." Like I swear, Bill Murray just shows up on set. Like he doesn't get invited. He doesn't audition. He just shows up as like, "I'm here for the movie."
And they're just like,
The director's like, "Well, shit, yeah, come on, let's fill out a contract."
That's beautiful.
I think that I feel like that was like basically what happened with Space Jam, like the original one. I feel like
I heard that
he's just on set, and they just like, "You want to be in the movie?"
Yeah,
and
that's
he was
what
like,
happened, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he even knew what he was doing. He just was there.
Yeah, I feel like he does that all the time. He just seems like the kind of person anymore where he's like, his star power is so high, he just does whatever the fuck he wants.
That's
he just goes on a set. He's like, "Yeah, I want to be on this
Speaking
horror movie."
Of star power, though, we have a new film with Adam Driver and Matt Damon teaming up in a film called The Last Duel.
That was Matt Damon.
That was Matt Damon, yeah.
Dude, I spent the whole movie going like, that dude looks so goddamn familiar, but the beard was so stupid that I couldn't like place it.
You couldn't place it. So this trailer, it said it was based on a true story about these two dudes that are feuding over this chick, or basically the
Trojan War.
Yeah, was it the Trojan War? Honestly, I had no idea what the film was even about.
I don't got a clue. I want to know because it says it's based on a true event. What is the event?
Yeah, I mean, it looks interesting as far as like the aesthetic. Very Game of Thronesy. It had a lot of those vibes.
It started. I was like, "What in the Game of Thrones shit is this?"
I don't know why. It just like it very felt like that. Like I think it was like the tone, like or the cinematography, the way it looked.
So it's not. Oh, it was directed by Ridley Scott.
Ooh, that's interesting.
It says a woman claims she's been raped by her husband's best friend, Jean de Carouges, but when no one believes her accusation, her husband challenges his friend to a duel, the last legally sanctioned duel in the country's history.
That's pretty cool.
That makes a lot more sense than just like, why is it called The Last Duel? What is the purpose of this?
What is the purpose? No, I mean, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, I think I just like seeing, I mean, Matt Damon's a great actor, but even more so, I love seeing Adam Driver. I don't know why I love that boy, but I do.
Now that I know it's directed by Ridley Scott, I definitely see a lot of his, like, now I'm thinking about it, I'm like,
man.
You can kind of tell, because he did, like, Gladiator and all that, and it's very similar to, like, the battles kind of thing. It's really, like hard-hitting stuff, and it's not, like, you see a thing they're doing, like, flashy stuff, and this one's, like, brutal, like, you see them, like, beat each other, and, like, sparks and shit, like...
As it should be.
Like, that makes a lot more sense now I know he directed it. It kind of makes me a little bit more excited to go watch it.
That's fair.
Ben Affleck's in the movie, too.
I love Ben Affleck, too. Honestly, like, the more I've seen of Ben Affleck, like, I don't know why I didn't used to like him, but, like, the more I see of him, I'm, like, more and more interested in him. It's weird.
But yeah, no, it looks okay. I don't know if it'll be good, but it looks okay. Yeah. Like, it's one of those things where it's definitely, like, you have to wait till the theaters to see if it's actually good or if they just threw all the good parts in the trailer.
True.
And it's really dull and boring in actuality.
So you brought up a film to me. It won the Cannes Film Festival most recently, and that is the Titan trailer. I mean, I would...
Yeah, it's weird, right?
So it was funny. I was like, I don't know what this is. And then you started playing the trailer, and I'm like, no, wait, I have seen this. I don't know where I saw it at, but I did. It's like a body horror. So that's what it's called? Like body horror film, right? I think that's what it said.
It would make sense considering that the only thing I know about this director is that her last movie had to do with cannibalism.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks like super intriguing. I'm definitely down to watch it.
Yeah, dude, my wife brought it up to me. We were in bed and like I was trying to go to sleep, and she's like, "Yo, you gotta see this trailer. Like, what the fuck?"
It's like a high class independent film. Like it looks like a higher end independent film with a lot of like drama and.
It currently has a 93% Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm sure. I mean, look. You know what it reminded me of a lot was maybe a more I guess edgy version of The Other Guys.
What the shit?
What?
You're right. It's body.
Not The Other Guys. The Nice Guys.
It's body horror. You're right. You want me to read like the synopsis it has on Wikipedia?
Sure. Go ahead.
It stars Agatha Roussel as a woman who becomes pregnant after having sex with a car.
That's Titan? Is that what the... I would have never got that from the trailer.
No,
but somehow I'm even more in now.
BBC called it the most shocking film of 2021.
Oh, what was that film?
Crash?
Yeah, who was that by?
That was by God, what's his name?
We need a crossover between Crash
it's not David
and
Lynch, David Cronenberg.
We need a crossover between Crash and Titan.
I legit, like, I thought it was about something to do with, like, a kidnapped son or something, because I thought that's what I read earlier, so I was just like, let's go look at Wikipedia, and I was looking down, and I was like, what the fuck? Which is exactly what happened when I read Raw's thing on Wikipedia, because I was like, vegan eats meat for the first time in a prep school, and I was like, All right, so that just sounds like a drama, like a drama
Yeah.
film for high school. Look on Wikipedia, it's like becomes a cannibal. I was like, what? What? Like, how do you get there from there? Like, what is the? And now this one, I'm like,
Sex
what?
cars pregnant.
And somehow I'm even more excited because I like body horror, so I'm just like, how?
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. I think that's weird.
I just like blew it to like now I'm sold. I'm like this one, the Canes Festival. This is about when we get pregnant with a car. Like, shit, I'm down. I'm sold. Like you don't got it's. She is the film one has world premiere at the Canes Festival on July 13th, where I can't pronounce this. The director became the second female director to win the Palme d'Or, which is the highest honor in the Canes Festival.
Wow, well, I'm super excited to see it though. So we watched
like what the fuck?
It's definitely crazy, and we'll have to keep our eyes on that. So we watched
the
this.
last film that won it, because like we didn't have Canes Festival last year, was Parasite.
Makes sense.
So now I'm like, I need to like start watching things from the Canes Festival because some of these are like supposed to be really good.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, I'm sure a lot of things that win film festivals. I know the Canes is a very high eclectic one.
But a lot of these were never nominated for Best Picture.
No, I mean, we have to have certain requirements to go through Best Picture. I mean, do you recognize any of the films that went in there?
From 2000 to 2021, I recognize The Pianist by Roman Polanski. The Tree of Life, because that's in the Criterion Collection. Amour, no, I know that got nominated for Best Picture in 2012. Blue is the Warmest Color. Deepan, I, Daniel Blake, Parasite. Most of those are just from the Criterion Collection. That's the only way I know about them.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like the rest of them, I don't.
This is gonna be after our Best Picture watch. We're gonna go through the Canes Festival. So that's what we're gonna do now.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
It's gonna be like mid next year, but we're gonna start this next year because it's been around since 1936.
Wow.
Or 1939.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, the trailer looks whack. now I'm more like I'm blown away because I actually know like have an idea what it's about. So I'm just like, damn.
Okay, sweet. All right. So then we also watched the trailer. I think it's called Red Panda. I think is what it's called, or maybe it's called something else. I don't actually remember. It's a new Pixar film where the girl turns into a panda when she gets stressed out.
I'm conflicted about this one because it doesn't seem like a Pixar film to me.
The way, I mean, it definitely looks like a Pixar film. Like at least
the feeling I get, it doesn't feel like a Pixar film. Like when I think of Pixar film, I'm thinking like happy piano music, cute little people, and this one I'm like, why the fuck is she a panda?
I mean, I don't know. You got like Inside Out, and that deals with like a heavier.
Yeah,
themes.
but it still looks and feels like a Pixar film. Meanwhile, this one I'm like, it doesn't for me.
I definitely see the Pixar in it, but I don't know. I'll have to wait to see how it turns out.
It's Pixar, so of course we're gonna watch it. But after this trailer, I'm like, I don't understand. So we're gonna have to wait and see.
I mean, I definitely understand. She just gets she turns into a red panda whenever she's stressed.
But now I'm in my head like, does she actually turn into a panda, or is it just in her head she turns into a panda?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see that. Actually, I like that. Sweet. So that is all the trailers that, or not all of them, but there's some other ones, but those are the main ones that we wanted to talk about this week. So with that down, we're gonna venture onto some of our weekly movie watches. I think we talked about this last week, so I'm just gonna touch on it a little bit. But Escape Room 2.
I didn't like it. I was severely disappointed.
We saw it together, right?
Yeah. See, that's how bad it was. We don't remember the experience.
We saw it together, right? It was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was okay. Like,
I was severely disappointed.
Okay, now I'm starting to talk about this. I do remember we talked about this. But yeah, it was a film.
It exists.
If you want to know about how we feel about it, actually just go check out episode 38, our last episode.
Yeah, it was so bad we don't remember discussing it.
Exactly. That's how bad it was. But some other cool films and maybe not so cool films that we watched that came out the past few weeks. We have the LeBron James new Space Jam 2.
I watched that today.
I watched it. I think the first weekend it came out.
I think so. I've been pushing it off because I was every time we're getting ready to do the podcast, I was like, I gotta watch it. And then we'd be like, something would happen, and I'd be like, so I don't have to watch it.
But you did end up watching it. So what did you think of it?
I liked it. Okay, so for people like being like, what? Because there's a lot of people that say it's terrible. I didn't like the first Space Jam. Not for me. I have no nostalgia. I thought it wasn't that great. Not like I'm not into sports. It's whatever. This Space Jam was for me. You get the movie references, you get the cameos, you get the meme jokes. Rick and Morty showed up. It's a video game, fucking basketball game. Like this was made for me. This is my crap. Like we were like watching the movie, and they had like the movie posters and the Warner Brothers and shit, and you had all the background stuff, and I was like, I like this. This is cool. And then when he showed up with Bugs Bunny, I was like he's Chongus. Like this is great. Like
yeah, I definitely enjoyed it too. I mean, I was a huge fan of the first Space Jam. I still am. And this film definitely delivered on everything that I could hope it to be. I mean, let's think about this, right? I break it down. What the hell is Space Jam? It's just Looney Tunes with a basketball player playing some basketball for no apparent real reason. And that's what I enjoyed about the first one, and that's exactly what this one is. It's the Looney Tunes playing Space Jam with a basketball player for no apparent reason, with like extra cameos that made it a little bit cooler.
No, I will say there's a couple things that bothered me.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Looney Tunes, they've done this before, and they're like, we can't play basketball the way we want to play it, and that was the conflict in the first movie. You weren't using your tune shit.
No, I mean,
now you're like,
if this had come out if these films had come out like 2 years apart,
I would get it, yeah, but it's a new generation watching it, so I'm like, makes sense.
But it's like the last one was like 1997, so like it being like almost the same exact plot, and I was like, whatever, like.
I had a lot more fun with Don Cheadle as the villain versus the guy in Space Jam.
I fucking love Don Cheadle.
Jada offended me though. She thought it was Anthony Mackie.
What a son of a bitch,
dude! Yeah,
Captain America. No,
it started.
War Machine.
It started, and she's like, "Hey, it's the new Captain America." I was like, "Bro, that's War Machine." She's like,
here.
She's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty fucking certain that's War Machine."
Jada, not all people look the same. That's horrible. Oh, it's horrible. Nah, dude, you would know if you saw Anthony Mackie. Honestly, if Anthony Mackie was that person, it would have been like off the roof. I would have been like 4 stars.
Don Cheadle acted his ass off in this movie though, because every single time he was in a scene, he just stole the fucking show.
He was goofy.
He was like, "Give me the camera, it's mine now." Like,
I know, like as much as his character was like almost like terribly written, it was like he popped off.
It makes sense to me. Like I don't like his conflict because his whole thing is just like, I just want people to know who I am.
No, this film was horribly written. But that being said, like, I didn't expect it to be good, though. Like, I didn't expect the writing to be good.
They were going to the world, and he's like, "Is this Harry Potter world?" I was like, "I can't hate this. Like, this makes so much more. This makes so much more sense than space, where like Looney Tunes are up in space,
right?
Like, why? Like, of course, it's gonna be a server. Like, it makes so much more sense in my head. I had no issues with this movie.
I mean, like the writing and the whole scenarios.
Like, it's not the best movie. It's not like a 5-star movie. It's not even a 4-star movie. But at the same time, like, I had so much fun just watching it.
Yeah, exactly.
That like I can't hate it, and I like it more than Space Jam. So like,
exactly.
Like I'm sitting there watching it, and like Bugs is like trying to use LeBron to get his friends back, and I was like, you know what? Like, it makes sense. It's Bugs Bunny. Like,
that's what Bugs Bunny would do.
And I liked his son being like, "No, Dad, it's just a game," and like LeBron's like, "Bruh,
it's not though.
Like, did you not hear a damn thing this dude said?"
He's like, "Actually, I didn't." Yeah, see, it was so silly and stupid, but I'm just like, but it's like, it's Space Jam. Like, come on now.
There was a scene where he's on his basketball court and he says "ball" and the ball comes out, and Jada was like, "What the fuck? You tell me rich people just have like a shooter that has voice command?" I was like,
yes.
He's rich, so probably.
I mean, that just seems plausible.
Yeah, I'm like, just, I don't know, it's LeBron James. It makes sense to me.
Probably whatever the fuck he wants.
The only thing I did have an issue with was the kids have like camera on his phone that like scan things, and I was like,
that was a little goofy, but
that's a little unrealistic. But then I was like,
you're going to server.
But LeBron's James LeBron's fucking rich, so
that,
why not?
Well, at this point, I'm like, well, honestly, that didn't. But the technology, I'm just like, that's like. But then I was like, well, I mean, they're going to servers, so like at this point, who cares?
I was like, I had no problems. I thought it was cool. Like, I thought it was fun. I thought it was neat.
Exactly.
I would watch it again. Like, I got an issue with this. I would watch this again way over the original Space Jam, just because I enjoy this so much more.
I like both. Oh god, and a few highlights for me. I liked Rick and Morty showing up with Taz.
That was funny. Yeah, I knew that was in the show in the movie already before I watched it, just because someone had shared a clip of it. And I like as soon as that scene started, I was like, "Here we go."
And then I loved Lola becoming a Amazonian. That was dope. I was like, I don't know what that probably seemed.
She started the trial, and I was like, Wonder Woman 84. Am I right?
Exactly. But then like that was a cool scene.
Rosario Dawson voiced Wonder Woman in that.
Did she really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
I still hate her.
You don't like Rosario? I don't know why you don't like Rosario Dawson. She's amazing.
It's just because she's in everything. In everything.
You want to talk about who's in everything is
Zendaya.
No, not even Zendaya. What is his name? Lawrence Fishburne. That dude is in everything.
Was he in Space Jam?
I bet you he was somewhere. No, no, seriously though. Like every time I watch a movie and like I'll just be sitting there, I'm like, bro, well, how did Lawrence Fishburne show up again?
Dude, my hatred for her really started when I was watching the Netflix like Marvel shows.
Yeah,
and just because every single time a show would start, I was like, here we go, new characters. Then she'd be like, she's my karate teacher. I was like, what? Why would this? What are the odds? Like, what the fuck? Like, I get Daredevil, you're a nurse. It makes sense. Luke Cage, love interest, cool, makes sense. Jessica Jones, you're pushing it a little bit. That really don't make as much sense. And then just like,
I had the exact opposite reaction. I like
why would she be an Iron Fist? Why would she like? Why is she like? Why is she the connect? Why is she the Nick Fury of the Netflix Marvel universe?
That's why I loved her.
It just bothered me so much, and then I started seeing her in every movie I was watching at the time, and I was like, "Go away!"
Please give me more Rosario Dawson.
I don't like. I'm pretty sure she's like. I'm pretty sure she was in Punisher. Like I don't really remember.
She's Ahsoka, so get over.
I'm pretty sure she's in Punisher because he goes to the hospital.
Yeah,
like,
she's in it for sure.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck off!"
Nah,
but that's just me. And then when she was like cast as Ahsoka, I was like, "Oh no!" Or Zombieland. I was like. But at the same time, like, she's a good actress, but I just got sick of seeing her after watching all the Netflix Marvel shows, like, binging them, and, like, seeing her in, like, every other episode, and, like, then seeing her in all these movies. I was like, why are you in everything I want to watch?
Just admit it, you're a Rosario Dawson hater. How dare you?
It's not, she's not a bad actress. Like, I just don't like seeing her in everything.
I feel like there's no act. Well, is there an act like that? Probably Lawrence Fishburne. Bro, stop being in everything. He always does the same exact role, too. He's just a dude with glasses, and he's like,
I'm cool.
You gotta do this thing. Anyways,
who's another person that's in everything? Ryan Reynolds is starting to be in everything, but he's always playing Deadpool.
Exactly.
Like,
however, one thing I wanted to talk about some films that we both walked out of. I mean, sorry, not both walked out of. We both walked out of films this past week.
It's the first time I've ever done it, and to be honest, it wasn't entirely my fault. But at the same time, I don't feel like I missed anything.
However, it's funny because the films that we walked out on, actually, I don't know if you've even seen this one, but are different.
No, I refuse to watch Snake Eyes.
Okay, I think it's because I told you.
Yeah, the first and I legit, like, when you texted me that you walked out, I was like, called it.
Yeah, so that's the one I walked out of, Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins.
I was like, anything with Origins in it is going to be crap.
First of all,
X-Men Origins.
I'm just so tired.
G.I. Joe Origins.
Relation. No, honestly, I'm just tired of, like, basic, like, here, news story. I don't know what it's origin stories. Yeah, that's what it's called. I don't like origin stories anymore, bro. I'm tired of this. But that being said, this is even worse than that. Like, okay, so let me first mention off the top that I did have some theater issues. Some people were on their phone. Some people were talking and shining their flashlights in my face. So that was that was annoying. And so I will put the precursor on that. However, so that was a precursor on why I left the theater. However, knowing me, like, if I want to see a movie, and I want to watch a movie, and my theater experience is bad, I'll leave, I'll ask for a refund, I'll get a different showtime, right? But in this case, I was actually trying to watch the film, and I was trying to enjoy it, and I was trying to, like, take it in regardless of these other distractions. And no matter how much I watched of it, like, I just hated every second of the film. Like, it was just horrible. Like, the action, the super, a bunch of shaky cam, like, horrible shaky cam. The dialogue was just so cringy, and then like it was just like as if like a 6-year-old like wrote it. Like they're like, "Oh, I know how to write movies. Here we go." And then like even the writing, how it went through. Like I swear, there's a scene when they're doing like some sort of like they're doing like you have to pass the 3 rituals to become part of our clan, and then not even joking, that's exactly the words they said. And then like, do you accept these rituals? And then like Snake Eyes' friend was like, he accepts the rituals. And then like she's like, he accepts the rituals. And then like the master leaves, and then Snake Eyes looks over and he's like, wait, what? What are these trials? I'm like, oh my god, this is horrible. But then like during one of the trials, like he was like I don't know. Well, I remember the trial, but I'm not gonna explain it. But like after like he had like 3 attempts or 4 attempts to do something, and on like the third attempt, the whole scene slowed down. And then like the music picked up. It's like, whoa, like as if he's gonna realize what he's doing. And then like it cut over to like the female of like the one female that's there, and she's like, like her eyes all wide, and she's like doing like some sort of like little gasp. I'm like, what the fuck? And like goes back to him, and he does it, and I'm like, this is horrible. Like this is bad. And then like I can't even. There's so much like, and then they went into like a dinner scene, and then he's sitting next to the same guy that like signed him up for these random trials. He's like, "You're gonna be my brother, and you're gonna bring this clan to destiny with me. We're gonna fight side by side." I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways, so I'm like, I gotta get out of here, dude. So I left, and I have absolutely zero interest in trying to check out that film again.
I just think it's funny because I remember when it started, I was like, I feel like it's gonna be trash, and you're like, no, it looks really good. And then you texted me like I walked out, and I was like, I was at work, and I was like,
I had such high hopes, dude. I mean, not high hopes, but I just like, I mean, it's Snake Eyes. I like G.I. Joe. I like those original G.I. Joe films that came out a few years ago. I like those. And like, I mean, Snake Eyes, like the trailer looked pretty cool. Like at least the one action scene they had on, like probably the only one that I didn't even get to see because I left. Like the one action scene where they were like riding a bunch of cars and they were doing like some sort of like ninja stuff. That was cool. But yeah, no, not even cool. And then you didn't watch it, so I mean, pretty much moving on from that. Don't watch Snake Eyes, please. Don't waste your money.
I was telling everyone at work not to watch it. I was like, my friend walked out.
Seriously, though, I don't normally like say don't watch films. Don't go watch this film. Don't do it. Like, don't.
And then the movie I walked out on, you actually stayed and finished.
Yeah. I mean, so you want to tell them what film you walked out of?
I walked out of Old by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's be honest. So I want to preface this with, I actually kind of like enjoyed the film, but I don't blame you because like I saw that. I mean, at first I was a little like, really, did you walk out because I walked out because like it happened the same weekend? But then I'm like, the more I thought about it though, I'm like, well, you know what? I actually really don't blame him because like it's not. I get it, like I do, because it's not even that great of a film.
You know, I had a row of 8 teenagers sitting behind me.
A row of what?
8 teenagers.
Oh no.
In a giant fucking group.
So it was one of those things, kind of like in the same way that I was going through with my situation.
They wouldn't. They wouldn't start. They wouldn't shut up.
Yeah.
Even though I asked them to, and they wouldn't shut up. Yeah.
They kept talking after that.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, whatever, fuck it. And my wife, like, she hated it so much she got up to throw her trash away. Which, because nobody fucking does that. They wait till the end of the movie. She legit was like, I'm gonna throw trash, and got up and she walked.
That's bad.
The dialogue I found to be atrocious and horrible. I groaned every single time they spoke because I was like, you don't talk like normal people. Like, who the fuck is like, who talks this way?
You know what? I think my issue is I saw Snake Eyes before that. I saw that Snake Eyes that same night because I had a triple feature with old Snake Eyes and then
the next movie we're watching.
Yeah, exactly. We'll talk about it in a second.
But legit, like, I was like, every single time a character opened their mouth, I was like, you not? Like, shut the fuck up. When one of the characters, his name is Cash Minivan, when I learned his name was Cash Minivan, I was like,
who's that?
The rapper.
What rapper?
The guy with the dreads and sunglasses who's sitting on the beach when they get there.
Oh, it's the guy that they murder.
Nah, I never got to that part.
Oh, right. Okay, so you get that part. Honestly, I had no idea that was his name.
Yeah, his name was Cash Minivan.
What the... Okay, I don't know if I wasn't listening or what. I straight up, because I don't remember
that at all. Because they get there and their daughter's like, oh my god, it's Cash Minivan. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's the dude's fucking name.
I didn't even listen to his rapper name. Straight up, I didn't even listen to his rapper name.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I just heard she liked this dude.
I don't understand why he had been there for like what? He said he was there for like 12 hours. How was he not fucking dead?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, that
like when they got there, like I was like, what the fuck? And then the girl dies, and I was like, so what killed her? If he's okay, like whatever, fuck it.
Oh, I keep thinking. Well, I was like, but that. Oh, I was like, I watched the film. That's why.
The doctor dude, he was like this. Spoilers, just straight up. They take a tumor out, and all I could think about was like they don't wash their hands. They stuck their hands in the wound to keep it from closing. And I was like, so if their bodies are like aging rapidly, so the bacteria is going to like multiply rapidly. How is she not dead?
You can't think
They
about
pull
like
the tumor out, and I was like, well, the tumor doesn't just come out. Like, it's attached to something. You have a fucking pocket knife that's not sanitized. And they just pull out this, like, fucking bowling ball sized tumor. And I was like, and then she just, like, she wakes up and she's like, oh, I'm okay. And I was like, no, bitch, you are dead. you are straight up dead. You had an open wound for days with people's hands inside of you, like, in your body's time. And you pulled out a tumor the size of a fucking bowling ball as if it was just laying in there, like in a cavity. There's no organs or anything. They cut it open and just pull it out. And I was like, we're not empty. We're not just empty people. Like, you don't just open it up and like pull out a fucking bowling ball.
You know what's weird to me is like as you explain this out loud, like from your perspective, I'm like, wait, I totally get what you're saying. That exactly pretty much what happened, but I just like my brain just didn't connect that like then.
So I was like, all right, you're dead. Like, I don't give a fuck about the rules of this thing. You're dead. Like it's bullshit. Whatever. You had one couple that straight up was like, we're trying to connect how we're all here, and then they're just like, oh, I have a tumor. I'm not going to tell you because it's personal. I'm like, bro, you guys are literally dying.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up. The kids bothered the shit out of me. Because you had one that was just like, oh my God, I'm growing. And then you had the boy with the other girl, like they're 6. And like, for some reason, their mental capacity never goes above the age of 6.
Yeah, not really.
And
until like the end. Oh, you can see.
And legit, they go in there and they're like, I have all these thoughts going, oh, it's okay. We're just growing. And I was like, so your mind doesn't age at the same, like, that's not how that works. Like, whatever, fuck it. Let you guys think you. And then
thing I think with that,
this is where I walked out. They walk out because they're like, where are the kids? And they're like, hi, mom. Like, I was like,
you just,
and then like the 6-year-old girl is now like, I want to say like 12 or something. And then she comes out with a pregnant belly. And I looked at my wife and I was like, you want to leave? And my wife was like, yes, please. And we got up and walked out.
Wow. Because
I was like, I mentioned this and like it's graphic novel accurate,
right?
But at the same time, it was done so terribly that I was like, you want me to believe that these kids with the minds of a 6-year-old and the body of a 14-year-old was like, we should fuck? No, I don't give a fuck about hormones. If they're the age of 6, they don't know what that is.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's a good point. Now.
I started picking apart. M. Night Shyamalan can't fucking act. He does not do he's not Alfred Hitchcock. He needs to stay out of his fucking movies because he cannot act.
You know,
he's like, oh yeah, no, I have to go. I got things to do. I'm sorry. You know, just call me later. I'll be here. Peace. He walks away, and I was like, you're horrible. Like, you're a horrible director. Like, I was like,
I don't know why I keep going. See, here's my issue. I don't know why I keep going to M. Night Shyamalan films because he did like one.
I always want them to be good because the trailers always make them look good.
It's not even that.
But I always have this thing in the back of my head where I'm like,
I don't know why I trust this.
They're not going to be good. The last movie that I thought that he made was good was Split, and that's because like I went in and I was like, oh man, this was really good. And here's the funny thing: they had that whole like the end of Split. They had that what's his name? God damn it! Bald man.
James McAvoy?
No, the other bald man. Poncho man. Bruce Willis.
Oh.
They had Bruce Willis in the movie, and we were exiting the movie, and I was like, man, that's a pretty solid flick, right? You know, I thought that was pretty good. Don't know who the fuck Bruce Willis was doing in this movie, but whatever. And I'm sitting there, and I'm going to the bathroom, and like some dude's peeing next to me, and he looks over and goes, you know who the fuck that guy at the end of the movie was supposed to be? Because I don't have a goddamn clue, but I think we're supposed to know, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking knew it was attached to Unbreakable. Nobody.
My friend did because only he's seen the film, but I was like, I had no idea what that was supposed to be.
Yeah, no, but I was like, I'm trying to pee here. Like, I don't want to answer your fucking question. Like,
I'm holding my dick while talking to you. I don't want.
I looked it up and I was like, Unbreakable, all right. And then Glass came out, and that was a severe disappointment.
So let me take you through my journey of old. I mean, like I said, I watched 2 films before this, or well, 1.5, and then I think the theater experience had to do with it because like I watched it on like a bigger screen, so it was just easier to watch for me, and like nicer to watch. But honestly, like it was just like old. It was just like a simple story of people aging, like literally aging on a beach very fast, and then like the ending, which was like a quote on, like you put quotations on twist, and then like it's ended super simple. Like it was just a very simple film. Like I wouldn't like I didn't put any thought into it. I was just like I just took it all at face value. and I didn't have. I see. I can't argue with anything you're saying because I agree with all what you said. But at the same time, like I just like it didn't bother me the way I think it bothered you. I don't know if it makes sense.
No, I definitely like when it comes out on Blu-ray. I'm definitely gonna buy it, and my wife hates that because she's like, "Why would we buy a movie we walked out of?" And I'm sure it was like, if I'm drunk one night, this might be a movie I want to put on. I don't know. Like, also, like, I want to see the ending just because that's how I am, and I'm not gonna go back to theaters to watch the first half of it again.
Honestly, I wouldn't even it's weird because like usually I think I gave it 3 stars, and everything over 2.5 stars I usually say I recommend. But this one, I don't think I would tell you to go watch this and watch this. I wouldn't. I have people I follow that straight up went to the theaters to watch it because they heard it was a shitty movie and they were the only people in the theater because no one's going to see it right now. Yeah, seriously. Like I don't even.
And when I got there, Jada and I were the only 2 people. Like we checked, we were the only 2 people who bought tickets, and somehow between the time of us sitting there and 10 minutes before the movie to the fucking movie starting, we had an entire row of people behind us.
I'm gonna take a little bit of a detour here, but I used to go to the theater like every weekend. I mean, I still kind of do. However, I almost do it more of just like so I can review movies and things like that. But, like back in, like I want to say 2 years ago before COVID, and this is like pre-COVID, I very much like went to every single like showing of every single movie. I would watch everything what was coming out theatrically. And now that I went through almost a whole year and a half without any films, like, you know, we went through.
Yeah.
Any new films.
Which is why our podcast had that Filmverse feature that we're starting to phase out because now it's actual movie releases.
Right, exactly. We're trying to, you know, it's hard to keep our time down, and we're definitely want to spend like 3 hours listening to our podcast. The way that I started looking at films is a little bit different. Like, I'm thinking about, well, like, okay, I still will go see the films, all the films in theater. However, like, would I recommend this? Maybe not so much because it's not worth your time getting out of your house, going to a theater, to watch this film.
Going through the concession lines.
Dealing with people dealing with people that are talking on their phone. Like, is it like, you know, spending extra money to like for gas? You know, is it worth it to go watch this film? And like, would I recommend this if you were just like if you had it available like at home? Maybe I might check it out if you're interested in like in the concept. But otherwise, like, no, don't go to the theater to watch this. Fuck that.
I also had a terrible theater experience in general.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I got there.
That's what I'm saying. You got to deal with that too.
No, because I had the people in the theater, but I also got there, got my ticket scanned, and was like, "Hey, can I get a ticket stub?" The guy's like, "Oh," he tried to print it, and he's like, "The printer's not working." I was like,
"They had that."
You know, I can live with that. I don't need the ticket stubs. It's not a big deal. The concessions people were kind of rude. I was like, okay, you know, like I get my wife's getting a sandwich, and you know, I'm like, oh, we're getting more stuff than we normally do and shit. But they were like, acting like it was such an inconvenience for them.
Rude.
Like I was
like,
their
job, bro.
Yeah, I was like,
it's their fucking job.
Like, I come here a lot. Like, don't do this to me. Like, right. I like this theater. Don't ruin my shit.
Yeah, especially that you go there all the fucking time, man.
And like, so I was already like going into the theater. I was like, man, I'm having a shitty time already. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then like, I get there and we're the only 2 people in the theater. And then like, I look at the thing. I'm like, oh, 2 people bought tickets. And I look at it again, and I'm like, why the fuck is there 8 people behind us now? What the fuck? And they come in and they're all teenagers. And then like, I was like.
No, dude, I would have. Yeah,
I was like, who the fuck's a teenager being like, I don't know how to behave in a theater. I'm like, I get friend groups, but I've been in big ass friend groups and none of us talked.
No, it's because I think it's because there's been a lot of theater etiquette that's been lost.
Yeah, everyone's used to staying at home, being able to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah,
and I'm like, go the fuck home then.
Exactly, but.
Like, you get to theater, you're supposed to be quiet. Like,
however,
some of us want to watch the movies.
We can meet in the middle here on a film that we both, like, you watched later than I did, and you thought for some reason I wasn't gonna like it.
Dude, I thought it was gonna be so slow for you, and you were just gonna be like, something happened.
This film is, you know, it actually was like, sorry, the film that we were talking about is Pig with Nicolas Cage, and you're not wrong because that's what I was thinking the entire time. However, so for some reason I was going into this film thinking it was gonna be like a John Wick type, like.
Not gonna lie, I did too.
Like somebody stole his pig. Basically, the concept is that somebody stole his pig and he's going after them to get his pig back. And I thought that he was going to be like murdering a fool, like Nicolas Cage was going to be murdering fools to get his pig back. And that's not what they gave me, but I'm not mad about it because it was done so well.
Isn't it sad though? Because legit, like it started off and I was watching it, I was like, is he gonna like go kill these people? Because they like he's sleeping and they bust into his house and shit and kidnap his pig. And I was like, so he's about to go revenge style, right? Because he's a dude living in the woods. I'm like, you don't know anything about his background, you don't know anything about him. And I'm like, so he's like gonna go fucking kill these people,
right?
And he leaves. He goes. He finds his like dealer, which is so funny because Jada and I were the only two people in the theater.
Right.
We were it. So like we're sitting in the theater and we're talking and shit because like we're it.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck's a truffle? So I'm looking up what the fuck's a truffle.
Is it mushrooms or something like that?
Yeah, it's a fungus. But like the real reason I make truffle fries at work. Like we use truffle butter and shit. And I was like, what the fuck is a truffle? Like what is this? So I looked it up. I was like, oh, all right, neat. So I'm able to look up context because I was like, I don't know what the fuck big deal about a truffle is.
That's right. Yeah.
Turns out they're very, very, very fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, all right.
Yeah, I guess that would have been confusing if you didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know why the big deal about this fucking truffle pig is. Like, it's a fucking, like, what the fuck's a truffle? But we're watching it, and he's like trying to find this fucking pig, and the whole time you're learning a little bit more about him, and like, you just want to know more. Like, his character is so intriguing for me because he's like, yeah, this is underground basement in the 19. I was like, how the fuck do you know this?
I know.
How do you know this fucking entrance is in this fucking restaurant here? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, see, here's my reaction was like, I think my like one word reactions to everything was like, I think I had like, oh shit, when they stole his pig, and then I was like, and then at every moment I'm just like, okay, what, okay. Like
he's like meeting the dude, and you're like, who was this? Like his like, you know, he used to work for him, like John Wick kind of thing.
Yeah,
and it's like, you find out he's a chef, and I was like, I'm not mad, like.
Exactly.
I'm more intrigued now because I'm like, what happened to like what is your backstory to this? And everyone's like, oh my god, you're him. And I was like,
who's him?
What the fuck is this?
But then what he actually ended up being was so much more like it should have been it should not have been as profound as it was.
And it has like, I think there's like 3 actors in this whole fucking movie that you actually care, like you actually notice.
I know,
because everyone else is just like background. Like Alex Wolff, who was awesome and old. Fucking killed it.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize it was Alex Wolff. I don't think I got to Alex Wolff in
Kid
old.
Brothers Band.
I think he was coming out.
Oh
with
yeah, you didn't get to him.
Yeah,
he was good in it. He was really good. He was the best part of that.
But Nicolas Cage, man, fuck, like he can act.
Eventually,
he can act.
Yeah, exactly.
And it sucks because you see him do these shitty movies, and you're like
Vampire's Kiss.
But you can act.
Yeah, dude. Like, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I hate Nicolas Cage, but I'm at the same time. It's like he can actually come out. I like to hate on him, but like he can actually come out and prove that he's a good actor.
He's like
what are you doing, bro?
Every 10 bad movies, I have to do at least one decent one, so you guys can go see the 10 bad ones because you keep thinking they're going to be good.
Or like just to keep you going, like, wait, is he actually good or not? Like he's like, no, I am, and then they're just like, what?
Like, but you did Ghost Rider. I like Ghost Rider. But you also did like vampires.
The first Ghost Rider is actually
it's okay. It's for its era. It's not bad.
Right.
But like you're sitting there, you're thinking about like Vampire's Kiss. And you're like, you're shit. And then you watch Pig, and you're like, why are you so good at this, but so shitty in all the other fucking movies?
Don't people like Vampire? Some people like Vampire's Kiss.
Everyone likes every bad movie. There's always that one person that's like, this is a really good movie, and you're you're fucking wrong.
But I think we were the minority in like that film, though. I'm pretty sure. Like on who, like what?
Yeah, because none of them were taking it seriously, but we took the movie seriously.
That was our fault. It's a 3.4. I didn't even review it. Oh yeah, I did. Sorry.
But no, I
give it half a star. Oh my god.
Like,
please do yourself a favor and never watch this movie. So this is what I call the script. Sorry, I forgot I wrote that.
But it's like, you know, he does Kick-Ass, and Kick-Ass is like a silly. Dude, it's like, I don't want to say like a silly movie, but like his character is a very silly character. And he pulls it off really well. And you got like Into the Spider-Verse where he voice acts Spider-Noir, and it's so good.
Yep.
And like I've seen him in a movie called Moonstruck where he was fucking phenomenal.
I also like how different he looks from like he was so like kind of fatty and like has his beard reveled. Like I liked how different he looked too.
Yeah, and then like there's a scene where he goes into this like, I want to call it a fight club because I don't know what the fuck it was.
I don't either.
But he went down there and they just start beating the shit out of him. And then they just like, where's my pig? And then the leaves. I was like, what the fuck is the point of this? Like, what did you get out of getting your ass beat? Like, why?
I was wondering the same thing.
Why would you do this to yourself? Like, what do you get? Like, and then like when you learn he's a chef, I was like, why? What does this correlate with the Fight Club? Like, why? Like, what the
somehow
fuck?
It still makes sense. I don't even know. Like, it just made sense. I don't know why it did.
And then the villain of this movie, like the way he like beats the villain, I was like, how fucking cool is that shit?
That was like that was mad respect, because I thought he was just gonna come in and murder him. I was like, oh, they're gonna turn that up the notch, and then he just makes him.
He just fucking makes him. He's like, yo, I remember every meal I've ever made.
He's like,
and I was like,
I'm not gonna. You know why it was awesome to me? Because it wasn't like you can like do
It's
John
a
Wick
fucking
stuff.
guilt trip.
You can do John Wick stuff and like kill people and like hurt stuff. But what is worse than actual like physical damage, cutting to your soul and murdering your insides? You don't make you live yourself.
You know how happy your wife and you were when you ate my food? Guess what, bitch? Relive that moment without her.
Yes.
I was like, what the fuck?
I'm like, he's like, I want you to die, but I want you to do it.
I want you to remember
exactly
who you used to be when you were happy. And give me my goddamn pig. And then he's like, the guy's like,
I murdered the pig, bro.
No, he didn't even murder the pig. The pig was already like dead.
Oh well, yeah.
I was like, why didn't you just fucking tell him?
Seriously, seriously though.
So much shit could have been saved, but then I started thinking, I was like, he tried to buy him out too, and the pig was already dead.
I have a feeling that the pig's not dead. He just told him that.
I'm not even mad if that is the case though, because like, it's so emotionally devastating.
It was, and I'm just like, yeah. You walked out of the theater. I was like, what is this, Logan? Like, am I sad about a fucking pig?
I legit like when I learned about this movie, I was having these people in my letterbox, and they were giving it like 4, or I think one dude gave it 4.5. One person gave it 4, and I was like, for a Nicolas Cage film about a pig? What? I was legit like, I read the synopsis.
I was
so
like, concerned that I gave it that much for myself. I'm like, did I really give it this high of a score? Like, what the hell?
And then like I'm in there, and like I looked over, my wife's in tears, like she's crying over this fucking pig and shit, and I'm over there like,
it's a fucking pig. But what the fuck?
Over there like, why is this so emotionally devastating for such a simple fucking movie? Like,
I know.
What the fuck? When you're hearing the story of like Alex Wolff's character's like, yeah, my mom and dad used to fight all the time, and then they went to this restaurant, and then they came home, and they used to talk about that meal for years. And then, like, you learn that he's the one that cooked the meal. I was so
confused why they were telling that story, because like, at that point you didn't even realize he was a chef.
Yeah, no. He has no clue who the fuck this guy is. Like, and then, like, when he's in the restaurant and he talks to that one chef, he's like...
And he just ruins his life again? It's like a superpower.
Dude, that shit is so funny. He's like, oh, yeah, you know... he's like, yeah, I fired you because you were a shit cook. It's like, what the fuck?
Bro. It's like, what do you want to do? I want to own a bar. What? It's like, do it. No, the people like this clam shatter and smoke. No, they don't. It's a facade. It's a facade. A facade. Wait.
A facade.
That's what I think of, yeah.
And it's like,
Dude,
he's like, what was your signature dish going to be? It was going to be, he's like getting all like emotional about it. And he's like, well, why didn't you do it?
You know what that scene reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller in Whiplash.
Dude, I was like, all I could think about was like, this dude has to have like perfect memory to be like, I fired you because you fucked up butter. like, why would you remember that? Like, why would you remember every meal you've ever cooked? Why would you? Why? Like, who can do that and then perfectly replicate it? Oh god, dude, this movie's fucking so good. Like, a minute that shit gets released, I'm gonna buy it because I'm just like, it's so good.
Right.
It's one of those movies that I feel like I can put it on for my friends and just be like, you guys want to watch a sad movie? And then we'll put it on. They'll be like, what the fuck are we watching? And then they're all gonna be like, why is this so fucking good? And I'm like, I fucking know.
It's weird.
It's so good.
Well, that was some fun stuff we watched throughout the week. And thank you guys for joining us. We talked the newest and most promising trailers, the newest theatrical releases in old, Space Jam 2, Pig, Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe, Horrible Origins, and more. New episodes come out every other week on Tuesday, so be sure to follow us and turn on notifications to get updates every time we post.
I just want to say that we're really sorry. We're trying to figure out this podcast thing because we're like,
with
new movies coming out, we're like, should we just talk about new movies? Like, give it a couple weeks? Like,
we're experimenting here, so bear with us.
We're trying to find something that works better.
Yeah. And if you want to keep up with our activities outside the airwaves, you can stalk us on Instagram at Into the Filmverse Podcast,
which we never post on.
well, it's still there, so go follow us. Bryce, where can people follow you in your enrapturing escalades?
You can find me on Letterboxd at Payne Reviews, Payne Reviews. There you can see all my Criterion reviews up to like spine 310 because I'm a boss. You can also find me on Instagram at Payne Loves Cinema. I post some of my pickups in my collection, which I have a lot of movies, and I like talking about movies. And you can find me on Twitter at Sanguine Director, Sanguine Films. I was like, it's one of those. I'm close. I'm always so close.
So close. And you can stay connected with me, Mytchel Chandler, by simply following me on Facebook and Instagram at author Mytchel Chandler, on Twitter at Mytchel Chandler, and on Letterboxd at Mitch Reviews. And remember that Mitch is spelled up a Y, so that's Mytch. That is all for this time, our fellow cinephiles, and until our next adventure,
Excelsior!